Hey guys, what's up? Just doing a video tonight talking about Michael Jackson, the King of Pop, the final days of This Is It 2009, and there's a few things I want to talk about his music. For example, there's one I want to talk about is Thriller. I done a video of Thriller of his This Is It in the movie Michael Jackson, doing Thriller, on June 24th, 2009, and I made it in nearly of a half an hour worth of watching, and it's pretty good, because I put in more footage of his Thriller to make it look good, you know, and it does look good. Um, and that's what I want to talk about tonight of Michael Jackson's This Is It. That some of you guys don't know that This Is It would have had the fans, would have been standing on their tiptoes. You guys had no idea, and I've said this before, you had no idea what Michael Jackson had planned for this tour. The tour that was going to be the greatest tour ever. It would have kicked any other tour out. I don't think there would ever be a better tour, since that if it had happened, because Michael Jackson wasn't that far off from wasn't that long. When he passed away on June 25th, 2009, he was only like 8 days away from going to London for in July. Because the first show was meant to kick off was in July 8th, 2009. We all know that Michael Jackson, said to Randy Phillips that night, at Staples Center that Michael Jackson was happy. Michael Jackson was happy that they got him where, how far they got into with the rehearsing and everything else, behind the scenes of This Is It in the movie, you know, on that day when Michael Jackson died, it was just going to be another day of performing, rehearsing at Staples Center. I can't remember what Michael Jackson was going to do. I think Michael Jackson was going to jump out as Rocket Man or whatever they were going to do on June 25th, 2009, as far as I can remember. And that would have been pretty awesome because I know that, all the dancers and all that there were all getting ready on that day of June 25th, 2009. They never had no idea or they would never had a second thought that it would have been the day that Michael Jackson passed away. When Michael Jackson died, it shocked the world. The world couldn't believe what was going on. They thought it was a hoax. They thought it was not true. They just couldn't believe it because this tour that everybody was looking forward to, it would have been in the Guinness World Records as far back as I can remember of 2009. It would have been in the world records because Michael Jackson made a deal that he wanted to if this is a tour had a went the way he wanted it, and he wanted see Michael Jackson wanted the fans to walk away, to something so they can remember because we know behind the scenes Michael Jackson was happy, but we don't know that we don't know what behind closed doors, because we do know that Michael Jackson when he wasn't I know he wasn't 18 because you can see in the photo here he was thin, but he did look strong and he did look better than ever than what he usually did back in in the day, like, because it was 12 years since he was out of the spotlight when he returned, when he was in London, back in March there when he announced that this is it for the tour. It all went well. Everything was good. It was all good. Everything went well, and Michael Jackson said to his fans that he would see them in July, so everybody was happy. And so 3 months, Michael Jackson was performing, rehearsing, dancing, singing, whatever. He was doing everything. He was getting ready, but there was days that Michael Jackson wasn't, returning to Staples Center. So that's where we don't know what was going on behind closed doors. We all know that Michael Jackson was taking, medication and all to help him perform and whatever the hell else he got, and we all know that he had the best dad, he had the best dad than what he was eating and what he was getting, all that there treatment and that, you know, you know, it's just shocking that it never happened because it's been 12 years now, 11 years, and we still can't get it out of our heads, that what that tour would have been like, that This Is It tour, because it was called This Is It because Michael Jackson said it was it was This Is It, because we don't know what would have happened after This Is It, but we do know that Michael Jackson wanted to travel around the world, and some of you guys don't know that. He wanted to travel around the world. He wanted to do the 50 shows, but at age 50, back in the day of June 2009, he was age 50, a 50-year-old guy, dancing like that and singing and wanting to do all those shows. It's just absolutely ridiculous because it would just be too too tired for him. I mean, I don't think Michael Jackson had enough time to do these shows. And what I what I what the what I think is what happened, that when Michael Jackson got home from Staples Center on June 24th that night. So it was after midnight. So it was into June 25th, 2009. I think, well, we do know that Michael Jackson was trying to clean up. He was trying to clean up, and that's what killed him. Because I think what happened was when Michael Jackson returned home that night from Staples Center, I think Michael Jackson, you know, went to sleep and he told his doctor that he wanted this and he wanted that, and the doctor gave it to him. It was drug after drug. I mean, the much drugs Dr. Murray was giving Michael Jackson was absolutely, it was just, I can't even find the word, bizarre, because it was drug after drug after drug throughout the night. I mean, eventually he was going to die because there's no way anybody could take, that amount of drugs throughout the night, that drug, this drug, there's no way. So Dr. Murray was giving Michael Jackson drug after drug throughout the night, and then till the morning, Michael Jackson wanted the propofol, but we don't know that because, if Michael Jackson had survived, he could have said it. He could have said that how it was, what really happened, but we will never know because Michael Jackson is no longer with us. So we don't know what happened. I don't think anybody knows what happened. I don't think anybody knows what went behind closed doors in that day. Because the the doctor left the room. He shouldn't have left the room. He should have put it this way. He should have called 911 right away. He shouldn't have given the propofol. Propofol cannot be used in a home, as we all know. And why did he do CPR with one hand? You know, I don't know why he didn't do CPR the way it was meant to be done. There was no right. There wasn't a right equipment to look after Michael Jackson. There was nothing there. It's just absolutely horrendous. I mean, a doctor who is looking after one of the biggest celebrities in the world, the greatest entertainer, who's about to do it. This is a 50 show tour in at the O2 Arena, which was Michael Jackson was only 8 days away from it. On June 25th, 2009, Michael Jackson was just another day, of rehearsing. It's just I just can't get it out of my head. Harry died, and what happened. We need to know what. I don't think we'll ever know, but we need to know what happened to put it all at peace, to put it all at rest, because we're always going to be talking about that this is it, because this is it was it because he died, so it's kind of coincidence, isn't it? This is it, Michael Jackson died, so it was it, wasn't it? But we all, I mean, I'm not saying that he isn't or he's not, but I'm 50-50. You know, I'm not saying I'm not a believer, but I do believe a lot of things that Michael Jackson faked his death. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But if he did, then I don't blame the guy because the man never had peace. He was always followed by fans. He was accused, in 2005 of child molestation and all that, and he was found not guilty. The guy went through a lot. the guy lived as long as he did, is what they always say. Michael Jackson lived as long as he did because of what he went through, you know, the drugs he's been taking, I mean, it's just really shocking when you think about it, when you put it all together, what he went through. You'd be like, oh my God, I mean, how did that guy go through the, much than what he did, But I always thought, back in March 5th, 2009, which will be nearly 12 years this year because we're now in February, so we're nearly at the end of February going into March. And we all know in March 5th, 2009, that this year will be March 5th, 2021, that it will be 12 years since when Michael Jackson announced the greatest opening at the O2 Arena on that day for the This Is It tour. And I've always said this for years, you know, when the fans saw Michael Jackson for the announcement for the This Is It tour, wasn't that enough? Wasn't that enough to see Michael Jackson to return on stage 12 years out of the spotlight? Wasn't that enough, to hear from the guy that he loved his fans and he wanted his fans to know that, and he wanted his fans to know he loved them from the bottom of his heart? Wasn't that enough from the guy? You know, I mean, like, when you think of it, when Michael Jackson, announced that This Is It, on March 5th, 2009 for the tour, like, I mean, when you think of it, I don't know why people, be upset and, that the tour didn't happen. But what about when he made the announcement on March 5th, 2009? Wasn't that enough seeing him anyway? I mean, yes, we were all looking forward to seeing Michael Jackson in July because Michael Jackson did say at the O2 on March 5th, 2009 that he was looking forward to seeing his fans in July. And he did say, too, don't get me wrong, that Michael Jackson did say to his fans, This is it, and I'll see you in July. But Michael Jackson didn't know he was going to die, did he? It's not Michael Jackson's fault. But when you piece it all together, put all the broken pieces together, we're in 2021 now, put all the pieces together and let the guy rest and just think of his music and his legacy. And the last time we saw Michael, and the last time we ever saw Michael in public, was that announcement. And it was the greatest opening comeback ever. So don't, be sad and, to this day and talking about that This Is It. Oh, would have been absolutely amazing if the tour had happened in July of 2009. Yes, it would have been. And that answer is, for me, personally, to myself, we will never know would have been like, because when you just close your eyes and you think of it, what it would have been like, then you will see, But it doesn't work like that. You can't close your eyes and just imagine what it would have been like. Just remember his music and his legacy. And the last time we ever saw Michael was that the announcement in London for the This Is It tour, and I do know that the lucky fans got to see Michael Jackson, for the when he made the announcement. I know other fans around the world probably didn't get to see him, and they were all just looking forward to seeing him in July anyway. That's the biggest disappointment. But for those but for those people, they can just remember his music and his legacy, you know. But for the lucky fans who saw Michael at the O2 for the This Is It, the announcement on March 5th, 2009, those were the lucky fans. But all the fans, saw Michael Jackson from years ago, when he done the History Tour and the Dangerous Tour and the Super Bowl Tour and all the tours that Michael Jackson did throughout his lifetime. We can all just remember him from that. But we all remember his tour that he did before he was going to do This Is It, was the History Tour. And the Dangerous Tour was pretty awesome too. You know, I mean, when you think of it, Michael Jackson has really went through a lot when you think of it, especially through the Pepsi commercial where he burnt the top of his head. That was really shocking. That was, I mean, Michael Jackson went through a lot in his life because I've been looking up and reading and listening to on Google and YouTube, throughout his lifetime, what the man went through. I mean, it was just horrendous. It's just shocking and sad, and it's just disappointment. I mean, it's just I can't even find the words for it. I mean, the guy, I don't know why people can't let the guy rest. I know people are asking more from the guy, even though that he's not here, or he's dead, or he did fake his death. I know a lot of people out there still believe that he's alive and he's living. I've always said to myself, I think that Michael Jackson, if he is alive, he could be living in secret, where his family and his kids only know he's alive. Now we all know that Michael Jackson's mother, God mercy on her, is not well at the moment. A couple of years ago, she took ill, but she still is here with us. I don't know if she's, dying or she's with us or not, but the woman is not well. But what I do believe is that I think Catherine Jackson knows that Michael Jackson, her son, is alive in secret, and that will be taken with her to her grave. But I do believe that the mother knows that Michael, if he is alive or not, and she is keeping it to herself, she could take it to her grave. But I know a lot of people would take a lot of things to their grave and not tell anybody, or nobody will ever find out. But that is good to not to let anybody know if that person is alive or not, because it's between them. It's not between anybody else. Nobody else doesn't have to know. Only they have to know. For example, Michael Jackson and the mother. If if Michael Jackson's alive in secret, maybe the mother knows that he is alive in secret, and the mother will never tell anybody, and she could take it to her grave if Michael Jackson is alive, you know. But we will never know. But I know hardcore fans out there still believe that he is alive, because example for his Michael Jackson's funeral, I mean, people talking about, back in 2009, that he was alive at his own funeral, and you know you can see Michael Jackson, you can see the body bag moving in the helicopter, and you can see him jumping out of the fan later on. I mean, like, it's just, there's just so much. I mean, when you think of it, Michael Jackson's last song, last rehearsal on stage, was Earth Song on June 24th, 2009. And before that, on June 23rd, 2009, the band and Michael Jackson were doing They Don't Care About Us. And Michael Jackson was just dancing and singing and giving it his all, and he did, And then on the next night, June 24th, 2009, we all know that Michael Jackson done Dangerous tour. I mean, that tour, Dangerous rehearsal, and Earth Song, and Thriller. And then later on that night, when he returned home, and then later, I mean, hours later, he was dead. I mean, what happened? What the fuck happened? I mean, like, the doctor should have never have given him propofol in a home setting. I mean, it's just absolutely it's just absurd. And I know you guys will agree with me everything I've said. And if there's anything that I have said that isn't right or doesn't sound right, or it upsets you guys, let me know, and I will say sorry if I've said anything wrong tonight. But I don't think I have, because I'm explaining myself what I think what happened to Michael Jackson, and his last music, his last songs of This Is It, like I was saying from the start there, like Thriller. The Thriller remake was the 2009 from the 80s Thriller, you know. And I love Thriller on This Is It movie. Michael Jackson nailed that. He nailed it. I know it was only a rehearsal, but he nailed it, and he killed it without even trying, because when the beat kicks in, oh, it's just so good. You know what I mean? If I mean, there was going to be a 3D Thriller, there was going to be a 3D or where Michael Jackson flies off from the, in the O2 arena. Michael, at the end, Michael Jackson would have flew away in the airplane, and it would have flew over the crowd. Oh my God, you guys have no idea what that tour would have been like at the opening at the O2 arena. It would have been incredible. Now there is a release of the 10th anniversary of Michael Jackson's box set, and what we got was another This Is It with a 3D of 10 minutes of experience. Now, I have watched This Is It, but with the This Is It with the 3D of you get like 10 minutes of footage. I mean, I have a 3D and 3D glasses TV, and I could buy it and I can watch it and see what it's like. It would probably be absolutely it would be incredible, you know. But anyway, guys, I've I've just been talking whatever tonight about this and about that. I just wanted to get a video done of Michael Jackson. I know I've done a few videos of I know the last video I done was of Thriller. I like making Michael Jackson's music. Well, his This Is It in the movie. Of his rehearsals. I like taking his songs, and I like putting in footage. Like, because if the song's long enough, like say like 3 4 minute, and you put it into like 15 minute, it never gets old, or it doesn't look like that you're repeating it. It just makes it look like more into a song, uh, or like the tour. It's just you're taking footage of This Is It, of the movie, and you're putting it into longer footage, and you're making the music video rehearsal look better. That's what I'm trying to do. But sometimes it doesn't upload to YouTube, or people can't see it. It is on my YouTube, but people can't see it, so I have to be careful with the you know I think it's like copyright or whatever it is. Or some videos I can upload and some videos I can't. That's just the way it is. you know. Um, I know we're in 2021 now, and I haven't really seen any news. Now, I have seen, when I did look up of Catherine Jackson, Michael Jackson's mother, that she took ill and she was on the wheelchair, and that was like a couple of years ago. But she's like 90 years of age. She was only like I think it was like, hold on, I think she was like 88 or something when she took ill. So she's 90 years of age now. I don't even know if she's alive or she's still with us. I know she's ill at the moment, but it's just really sad now that they're nearly gone. Michael Jackson's gone, Joe Jackson's gone. Catherine is, well, still with us, you know, at the moment. But it's sad when you think of it, because years ago, when the Jackson Five, when they were all together, when everybody was together. I mean, these days are just absolutely shite, because with the coronavirus, with the COVID-19 going about, you know, this just, between these last couple of years, has been absolutely awful. And I know you guys would agree with me, and we can call it This Is It, because with this COVID-19, This Is It for us, because we can't do anything about it. It feels like that it is it for us, because we can't do the things we used to do, you know? I just want this lockdown to be over, and I'm sure all you guys want this lockdown to be over. I really, really do. But anyway, guys, I think I've said everything I've wanted to say tonight. I think I've been jabbering on about whatever, and I hope nobody is turning against Michael Jackson with that stupid Leaving Neverland, you know. Uh, and I think that was the reason why Catherine Jackson was disturbed with the Leaving Neverland. You know, she was disturbed that the Leaving Neverland was the release. That was her son, and her son proved himself innocent, years ago of 13 counts not guilty, and the accusers, Wade Robson and Safe Chuck, you know, they took the stand years ago and said nothing happened, and then they're saying now that it did happen. It's just absolutely awful. I just can't believe that what Michael Jackson's mother is going through, especially Michael Jackson's brothers and his sisters, and his kids. You know, I just can't believe what his kids have to go through with this Leaving Neverland too. It's just ridiculous. It is really not fair. Not fair. It's not fair having to bring up all these allegations. I mean, especially bringing it all up after not long Michael Jackson died. I mean, a few years later, after 2009, when did they come out? I think it was 2013 or something. It's just what I do believe, if Michael Jackson was still alive, I don't think that documentary would have been made. I mean, you would be so angry having to go through you would be so angry having to go through the same thing, that what happened years ago, and years ago nothing happened, you were found not guilty. The FBI found nothing. The two accusers at the time said nothing happened. And now, years later, even Michael Jackson's lawyer even said that he doesn't believe Michael Jackson was, you know, not innocent for 5 seconds, because Michael Jackson's lawyer to this day still defends Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson's lawyer even said that he can't believe that all these years later that the two accusers are coming out now saying that it did happen. It's just, even Michael Jackson's lawyer, Tom Mesereau, you call him, I think it is. He can't believe that the two accusers are now saying that Michael Jackson did do it. Because Michael Jackson's lawyer, was the one who put the first, on the witness stand, and they said that Michael Jackson didn't do anything to them. Michael Jackson was innocent. Nothing happened. So it's just, no one will ever know, because there's no proof. There's nothing. I mean, if Michael Jackson had did anything, Michael Jackson would have been locked up a long time ago, or they would have found something by now, But there's nothing, absolutely nothing, you know. And even if there was, there would have been just one wee shred about that he did do something, or they did find something, or they did have proof that he did do it. But there's not, you know. I mean, come on, guys, let the guy rest. Let him rest. And if he did fake his death, let him live in peace while he's trying to. I mean, Michael Jackson would be in his 60s now. Let him fucking rest. I mean, we got enough from the guy. We got the last days of him when he was alive, and the This Is It movie. I mean, just let him be, fuck's sake, you know. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys are keeping well. And I did have to change my YouTube and all to you know, to a different name, because some people weren't being nice to me, and they were looking at my YouTube and they were leaving nasty comments and just hitting the dislike button, and I had to change my name and all. So maybe that's why I don't really get much, views of my videos and any comments anymore, but I do have over 600 subscribers, something like that, so I've done pretty well throughout the years of all the work I've done. It's not all Michael Jackson, it's all of other cool things I like to do and talk about, and a bit of gaming and this and that. I've been on YouTube since 2015, so I've been on YouTube 6 years, 6 years. Um, it's really, I mean, it's really hard when you think about it, because we always going to keep on saying to ourselves what it would have been like if Michael Jackson had it done, if it had happened, if Michael Jackson hadn't died of the hands of Dr. Murray, if Dr. Murray had looked after him right, and everything could have went differently. Everything could have just, you know, could have went different on the other hand, you know. But anyway, that's all I want. That's all I'm gonna say for tonight, guys. I think I've talked about everything. If there's any of you guys want to say anything in the comments, or if you guys want me to do any more videos of Michael Jackson, or any work or any cool edit stuff you guys want me to do to keep his music and his legacy going, feel free to leave me a comment or anything like that. Okay, guys. So take care and stay safe, and I hope that we will get over this lockdown of COVID-19, this virus. And when we do, I will do a video and you know, you know, say like if that day comes that we've done it, guys, we've beat the lockdown, it's over, the COVID-19's over, and we will live on and look forward to the future. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go here now. Take care. Peace.